And we are live. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. How are you doing? This is Chantal Michel, your spiritual teacher and healer. And today we are going to talk about overwhelm. So, how are you doing with this whole lockdown? You know what I thought of doing today is to pull out a card of my card deck, the archetypes, and ask for what is going on for humanity at this moment. And I'm going to show you the card that came up. And I'm going to read you what it says about this card. Basically, this card is about giving up something, leaving behind like the old world, and then what are you going to give to the what are you going to offer to the new world? So this is where you have to ask yourself, are you hesitant to give up something from the old world so that you can make space for the new one? Are you still attached to the old? Are you making excuse not to move forward? So this is a time right now to offer your baggage of all your old negative stories, your old limiting belief, your old ways of being, and then transition to what are you going to offer into the new world once we come out of the lockdown. So is the whole of yourself going to be in the new world? Are you going to present the whole of yourself in the new world? So this is a time to free yourself and to put your mask down and to be the whole of you can be. So I'd like to start today, the healing of today, which is about overwhelm and stress, with a serenity prayer that you probably all know about, but I think it's nice to read it. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I think this is very relevant with the situation that we are having now. So before we go a bit deeper into the overwhelm, I just want to share a few emergency tools in case you're really feeling stress in your body physically. The analogy that I like to bring up is the analogy of the washing machine. So when you are when your attention is brought to the outside world, where there's all this chaos going on and all this confusion and all this negativity, it's like being inside the washing machine. And I'm talking about those front loading washing machine where you see the tumble or the tumble go round and round and round. So imagine you are part of those people instead of clothes being kind of tossed around like crazy, and that's really unsettling. So what you want to achieve is you want to be in the position of the person outside the washing machine, the person who's maybe having a kind of the look of an observant of what's going on outside in the world, but without participating, without going inside it, because that's where you get drained. That's where you get the overwhelm from. So I want to share some tools of stress management. I've already shared the link of my series of stress management, and I'll probably share one of them. But right now, I remembered that actually stress management was one of my favorite workshops to give a few years back. I wrote this book, which was for women after 40. So 7 keys to rejuvenate, natural holistic solution to reverse aging. And out of the 7 keys, there was 1 key totally dedicated to stress management, because it is one of the way that you start aging your body and getting old even mentally when you get too stressed and uptight about everything. So my aim right now is to pull out some tools from this book and to bring you some comfort, and especially to help to calm your nervous system down. So one thing that I share in the book and I'd like to do with you right now, if you're up for it, is to do alternative breathing. So alternative breathing, you're going to use whichever hand you want. I'm going to use my dominant hand. And so what you do is you're going to block one nostril while you breathe out, actually. Then you're going to breathe in through the same nostril. And now you're going to block that nostril and you're going to breathe out through the other one. Breathe in through the same one. Block. Breathe out through the other nostril. So we're going to just keep going like this. So wherever you've which nostril you've breathed out, this is where you breathe in again. And then once you breathe in, you block and you breathe out through the other way. So let's do a few of these. So breathe out. Breathe in. Out through the other. In. Out through the other. In. And this generates some heat. I can feel it. So this is a very easy technique to do that allows you to calm your nervous system. So if you are feeling in a very stressful situation, just isolate yourself, calm down, close your eyes, and just focus on this alternative breathing. Of course, you all know about yoga, and there are two specific easy positions that you can do. One of them is the Shavasana, which is the basically looking like a starfish with your limbs open, your arms open, and your legs open on the floor, closing your eyes and totally letting go, totally letting yourself sink into the floor. The other one is the child pose. There are a few variations of this, and you can Google if you don't know them, child pose, and you'll find some pictures of this. And these are very useful way to calm down your nervous system, to recenter yourself, and to get out of the washing machine like I was talking about. So when you feel stress and overwhelm, it's the cortisol level, this hormone system that is way too high in your body. And what you want to do is you want to have endorphins instead, which are the good, feel good hormones, feel good neurotransmitter chemicals. So one of the way you can raise your endorphins, you probably know this already, is with movements. So I understand that, of course, if you're a runner, for instance, you might not be able to go out because of the lockdown. So I'm going to post again a link, which is part of my stress release techniques, the playlist that I have on YouTube. And this one is specifically using 2 Qigong exercise. Qigong is something that I practice myself to help calm my energy in times of stress. So I hope that will be useful. But did you know today is May 3rd, and officially May 3rd is the day of laughter. So I'm a laughter yoga leader, and I don't know if you're up for it, but I'd like to just do a little really sample of what laughter yoga is. And you can always go online again and Google laughter yoga on YouTube or whatever, and you'll find lots of other exercise. But the idea of using laughter yoga is that, you know, your brain doesn't see the difference when you're acting out something. It doesn't know the difference whether it's true or not. So even if you're faking laughter, like there's nothing funny to laugh about right now, for instance, the fact that you're forcing yourself to laugh actually raises your vibration and makes you feel better, because you're also releasing the endorphins in your body. So let's do just a little something together from the laughter yoga. So what I'd actually advise you to do is put your hands on your belly and just relax. And what we're going to do is we're going to take some deep breath in, and on the out breath, we're just going to do some simple, gentle laughter. So it's going to look like this. Take a deep breath in. And feel the vibration on your belly. And again. No reason to laugh, just for the sake of changing the vibration of your body and sending those endorphins everywhere in your cells. Now you can do way more at home. Please take advantage of this day, a laughter day, and not only today, but every day of your life. It's super important to keep laughing. It really helps, and it really raises the vibration. Actually, just by doing this, the breath in and the release through the laughter, you might actually even feel, if you're sensitive, a little bit of buzzing in your head. So this is all good. This is all lifting up your energy, and I hope you will use this. And there's lots of things on Facebook and YouTube. There's lots of videos, whatever your style is, cats, dogs, babies, kids, whatever, doing all these funny things. There's a lot of funny videos out there if you're looking for inspiration. And also, of course, one of the best way to release stress and overwhelm is to do mindfulness exercise. And so if you are also, another tool you can Google online is there's something called, I think it's called the focus wheel process from Abraham Hicks. And the process actually takes you from where you're feeling now, so feeling down, whatever level of stress and overwhelm and low vibration that you're at, and then it guides you through going through different, slowly moving up to the spiral of feeling better and better. So I'm not going to go into this because it's there's way too many tools to share, but I hope you will look it up and do it. And basically, with all what's going on with the lockdown, I would just say, just don't overdo it. And I'm going to share something that I found on Facebook that I found very, very nice. And I thought I would share that with you. And it's from Jeff Foster. And the title is Let Yourself Rest, guys. If you're exhausted, rest. If you don't feel like starting a new project, just don't. If you don't feel the urge to make something new, just rest in the beauty of the old, the familiar, the known. If you don't feel like talking, stay silent. If you are fed up with the news, turn it off. If you want to postpone something until tomorrow, do it. If you want to do nothing, let yourself do nothing today. Feel the fullness of the emptiness, the vastness of the silence, the sheer life in your unproductive moments. Time does not always need to be filled. You are enough simply in your being. I thought that was really, really beautiful, and I wanted to share that with you. So earlier this week, I was asking if you're wearing a mask. Let's see if I can find my little things. I was asking if you were wearing that mask or wearing that mask, but deep inside you were more feeling like this, even though you're not sharing this with your people around. So are you at the moment keeping it together for your family, for instance? I want to draw your attention to the difference between caring for someone and caring someone. So when you're caring for someone, this is beautiful. This is where you are supporting someone, the person, by empowering them. And this is beautiful. But there's also the other side of it, which is caring someone. So when you're caring for someone, it's like empowering, and the analogy I think is you teach them to fish, for instance. That is empowering. Now, on the other side, when you're caring someone, is that you're taking care of them, but it's not very helpful, nor for you, for the person, because they become dependent on you. And this is the other side of the analogy, where they depend on you to get the next fish and the next fish, etc. So this ends up being not useful for the other person that you're taking after, but also it becomes draining for you, and also disempowering for both, really. So caring for some people can also be sometimes an excuse to not look at your life and to not start your own project. So what I would recommend, especially now during this lockdown, is don't forget to take care of yourself. Don't forget to look after yourself first. And another analogy is obviously if you're in a plane and there's a need for emergency, you are needing to put your oxygen mask on first before you can take care of others. So maybe a useful thing to do right now during the lockdown, since you have so much time, is to maybe make a list, have a little journal or something, make a list of all the things, situation, people that are actually drainers. And the reason why I want you to do this, because those drainers are actually part of the stressors in your life. So it's maybe time to get rid of those stressors and time to declutter your life at all levels. And also, if you are lying to yourself about how you're really feeling, this is not very helpful also for your children, because you're teaching them that it's actually not okay when you're feeling down. So instead of wearing this happy mask, I would urge you to show them how you really feel. Because by doing this, you're teaching them how to honor themselves. You teach them that nobody, including parents, have to play the role of a superhero. But what really matters is, at the end of the day, the connection and the support that exists between you. So it is okay to have a timeout, even for parents, in order to recharge your battery. Because right now, what's important is to deal with what's going on in your inner world. So what's going on in your inner world? So overwhelm really comes in your life when we have reached a point of just too much. Too much is too much, and you reach a point of imbalance. And this is where we need to have an honest look at our life and find out what is not working for us. So this lockdown, at the end of the day, is not happening to you. Think about it. Right now, it's an opportunity. It's happening for you. Yes, the situation of the lockdown is taking you away from your comfort zone, away from your cage. Yes, it's taking you away from your usual distractions, away from the rat race. But this lockdown is also asking you to just be, for a change. And especially to be yourself and be with yourself. So this lockdown is inviting you on a journey of self-discovery, really. In times of chaos, what's happened is they always bring up to our attention what really needs to be dealt with. So right now, a lot of things can be triggering you. I can just imagine. But let's take the instance of if you are being triggered by the people around you, the people you live with right now. And so if there are negative emotions or pain of any sort coming up, and you feel triggered by these people, just sit with it and close your eyes. Just take some time with it. Because what it means that something is coming up to the surface to be healed. So maybe, again, it would be useful to have a journal so you can dumb down your frustration, dumb down your thoughts if you're feeling that you can't really express them or something at this point. And just ask yourself, what are you really feeling inside right now? And then ask yourself, have I ever felt this before? Because there's a sure chance that it's not the first time that you feel that kind of emotion. And what may come up is a memory from your past of an unresolved issue. This will resurface to be understood by you so that you can free yourself from that suffering. So welcome, in a way, any trigger that you may have, whether it's from outside, but right now I'm focusing on within your family, because this will help you to identify what's really coming up to the surface and that needs to be healed. And so if you do this at home, when you do this exercise, when things are coming up, then I want you to use a technique, a healing technique. It's pretty simple. So this is why I want to share it like this live with all of you. So let's take the example that, for instance, okay, so you have a partner that keeps criticizing you for every move that you make, like, why did you do this? Every move you make, like, you're being criticized. So then you, like I suggested before, you go into yourself, you rest, you write into your journal, you go within, and then something comes up. And what may be coming up is maybe a souvenir when you were younger, and your mother used to always tell you, stop fidgeting, stay still. And somehow, by your mother saying this, you've incorporated it, and now there's a part of you that feels like bad if you move or if you do something. And then this is attracting people who are going to criticize you when you are moving and doing whatever. So in that case, as an example, this is how you would bring healing to the situation, and it goes into 2 steps. So the first step is we're going to remove the memory of that situation, and you have to make your own affirmation because you'll know better, of course, what's going on. But I want to show you the trigger points. So think of your body as a big computer with there are what we call meridians, so kind of nervous link, energetic link that you can press on. It's a bit like programming yourself. You may have heard of the very famous technique called tapping. This is not what we're going to do. What we're going to do is we're going to first place 3 fingers kind of here, like the idea of your third eye. So you're going to be pressing there, and this is how you're going to remove a program, remove a memory. So for instance, with that situation we just talked about, it could be you affirming while you're pressing there, I understand that my mother had her own reason for telling me to stop moving. She was the one who was not comfortable. It was her own issue. It had nothing to do with me. I now decide to erase completely that memory and to clear any emotional attachment related to this. And then you will take a deep breath and you will sigh it out. And again. And of course, I trust you to take your time to do this. And then very important to do a step 2, which is about installing kind of a counter program, a new program. And this is going to be you're going to feel your collarbone, and under your collarbone, kind of towards the center, you're going to kind of feel at some point kind of 2 points that are a little tender, kind of about 2 inches under the end of your collarbone. And right there, you'll feel some kind of like really painful point, it could be. And this is some tender point. And this is where we're going to reprogram. So pressing on those points, in the case of the example, you could say something like, and affirming really strongly with intention, I have the right to express myself freely with my body. I have the right to express myself fully in my body. And you will repeat it as often as you need. And of course, you'll take a deep breath in to integrate this into the cellular level. And as I say, you can repeat it as many times and over many days until you really feel it's been downloaded into the cellular level. And then also, and you'll know that it's all been incorporated until you will see actually a physical change in your partner's behavior towards you. So that was one thing I wanted to share for you as far as healing the overwhelm is concerned and triggers that can come up. Overwhelms really means losing your ability to cope. You know, when you feel powerless to create your future and you feel unsafe and constantly on edge, if that's your case, then here's something you can do. So I mentioned mindfulness exercises, and again, you can Google them. There's lots out there, but just as a base, the way to get out of overwhelm and to use mindfulness, it's simply into your focus. So what you're going to do is you're going to focus only each day on the very next task ahead. So ask yourself, what will I be doing in the next 5 minutes? Don't even go further. Don't plan for the whole day right now. Just if you are in a state of overwhelm, just think, what am I doing in the next 5 minutes? And then once you're doing that task, focus fully, put your full attention into it. give all your attention and don't focus on anything else. And then once you feel more comfortable, you can even plan ahead a full day, but not as in making big plan, as in, okay, in the morning, what are the things I need to do? Some people actually get to the point where they're so disorientated with what's going on is they forget simple things like making their bed or washing their clothes. I know it sounds silly, but some people are at that stage right now of being lost and confused and totally not knowing what to do. So it might be useful. I hope it's not your case, but it's something that you can plan to do, a little plan for your daily routine. So focus on also on what's going on now in your surroundings. What are the things that you can handle really? Is it just things like taking care of your house, cleaning a cupboard, maybe sorting out some paperwork that you need to sort out, painting the stairs? And also try to reconnect with how do you really want to spend time with yourself? What do you really want to do? I would actually encourage you, if you can, to go back into your memory as a child and what were the things that you enjoyed as a child, and then do the favor to your child to go and do that if it is possible and get totally absorbed in this activity. I know myself since I was a little girl and up to now, one activity that I like to really get absorbed in and I really lose track of time and I'm fully in the moment, I feel totally peaceful, is painting. I love painting. So maybe for you it's gardening, cooking if you can, dancing, singing, whatever brings you relief and joy. So this is something that you have to figure out for yourself. And the main thing right there with overwhelm is, please don't try to figure out what you will be doing in the next 2 or 3 months ahead, because this is going to send your brain into panic mode. Because of course, the truth is nobody really knows what the future holds right this minute, right? So if you start feeling overwhelmed and if you look at all the issues in the world, then what's going to happen is you're going to find that they are way too big for you to solve by yourself. And that really makes you feel powerless and sends you into overwhelm. And that means you're being way too hard on yourself. You witness the world drifting away and you feel like, well, I wish I could do something, but then you feel like I can't do anything. So remember one thing. You are not meant to carry the world and the whole issue on your shoulders. And remember also that you are not alone, and you have somewhere in you, you have to find the trust that there is a divine plan out there working out in our best interest. However, you are a piece of the puzzle and we can't do this without you. And so your only job right now is to envision how you would like this earth to look like in the future. I believe it is high time that we replace the fear going on and to replace it with a healthy vision for our future. You see, I believe there are 2 trajectories going on right now that we can take as humanity, 2 extremes. On one extreme, we could regress back to the old world, even though I think it would be worse, and that would be a world of fear, lack, and struggle. Or on the other extreme, we can imagine a new world with, on the contrary, love, abundance, and more freedom for all. So I actually had a vision. I get a lot of messages from spirit those days, and waking up very early in the morning. And one of the vision I got it's kind of easy actually to describe, to kind of get an analogy of what's going on right now. It's the vision of a teenager clinging to their mother's dress, not wanting to let go because they think that they depend on that mom to survive, and they have not realized that it is time to fly by themselves. So this is the analogy, I think, of a large part of humanity that's still looking at the old system as they're depending on them, even though the system is not working in their best interest. So all those people, they don't realize that they have the power to stand up on their own 2 feet and take care of themselves perfectly well. So I truly believe it is the right time to plant the seeds for a new world. So actually, I'm gonna, before we do a whole meditation on this next Sunday, I would invite you to share either by private messages. I've also put my email by now, or in the comments, share your thoughts. How do you see the next world? Where do you see us going? And so what we will be doing in the next meeting, we will be incorporating this vision to bring a wholeness and a new vision and hope for a new world. This lockdown is really, it's a great opportunity for us. It is a pause to allow a reset for this world. So I just want to share a little drawing that I did as well. I don't know where you're at on your journey, obviously. There's a lot of you, and how can I know? But either way, I'm going to share that part, is that whether you know or not, humanity has been in the dark, shall we call it, for, some people say 26,000 years. I don't have the means to check those numbers, but it feels right to say that for thousands of years, humanity has been in the dark. So we've been here, basically. It's been, all the weight has been on the dark side. Now, where we are now with the lockdown, and that's another little drawing that came to me, is we are in the middle, meaning we have arrived at a stage where we are in the 0 point that I talked about before. It's kind of like we're at the tipping point, and that's us, humanity. And right now, it's kind of like neutralizing each other, and it's up to us to decide. This is why there's a question mark. It's up to us to decide whether we are going to walk that way and put the weight back on the darkness and go back into a world like I've described already, or are we going to choose to walk that way and to a world where we can have more freedom, more abundance, more love, and so many good things that are, I believe, the true quality of humanity. So this is not the decision of authorities. This time, for the first time in a long, long time, this is in our hands, like in your hand, in my hand, sorry, I'm going to get emotional because it's such an important moment. And I believe there's a lot of people out there who do not realize how important it is. They're not realizing that this time that we have, this pause, is not going to last forever. And this is where we're planting the seed. You see, we are all connected at an energetic level. It's called the human morphic field. Right there, you must have felt this is because we are part of it. We are feeding that field, and we are also receiving information from the whole humanity. So we have all felt the waves of energy. First, there was the announcement of the virus, and we felt, and I know I did, felt the wave of panic and fear. And then that wave was replaced by another wave because of all the confusion in the news, the contradictory things going on, and people kind of were feeling lost and confused, and that wave of energy came. But after all this doubt and confusion, there is now slowly a new wave that can be felt, and thanks to people who are awakened already, people who are meditating, and people who know that it is important to put our energy out there right now. You see, we feel like I said, the energetic field, but we also feed the energy in this field of humanity. So I think it is time that we all contribute, and that we bring an energy of hope for a change instead of this energy of fear. So please, let's feed the field with a new vision of a beautiful world. You know, and the best way that I know for us to change, I know for me anyway, when I am feeling emotionally down, the best way to bring up my vibration and bring my emotions back up, to lift me up, is to use gratitude. So this process that I'm inviting you to do with me is going to start today, and then build up with your comments until next week. And I am totally aware that even though I have so many followers, a lot of you are just butterflies on Facebook, and kind of attracted by what is the next shining object. And some of you are not listening to me, and that's fine. Whoever is meant to be here with me now, and whoever is meant to do this meditation next week with me, you're just meant to do that work. So right now, I would invite you to just connect energetically with me. And again, also something I've mentioned before, there is no time and space. So even if you are joining me because you are living in another time zone, for instance, at another time during the replay, it's exactly the same. The energy that you are going to build and to connect with me, I'm going to feel it and you're going to feel mine. So I invite you once again to use the heart breath technique, which is about breathing in through the heart and breathing out through the heart. So let's first start with that. And if you want, you can connect to the human morphic field right away. Or if you're not ready, either way, we're going to invite in our mind's eye people, things, situation that we are grateful for. So wherever it is, your pet, your partner, your family, just focus, send, as you're breathing out with your heart, send this wave of love and gratitude to all those items in your life, all those things that really matter in your life. Focus only on the things that are going well for you in your life. What is a strong base as things are disintegrating around us from the old world? What is still a safe ground? Is it a friend? Is it your pet? Is it your garden? Is it Mother Earth? You deep inside, you know what brings you comfort, what brings you relief, what matters, what is real for you. Take some time to send that love. And smile. Because if you were sending love and if you were saying thank you to someone, you would do this with a smile. And smiling, by the way, helps you to release endorphins, those feel-good hormones in your body. I would encourage you to do this every day. Morning, evening, afternoon, anytime. I was going to say there's no higher, it's kind of nearly true. The highest vibration is love, but within love, there's gratitude, and gratitude is one of the highest vibration you can ever offer to help this world and to receive the benefits fit back to you as well. But we'll talk about that another time. So by doing this, by being grateful to all the things that are working well for you in your life, you're basically setting an intention for what you want the world to bring more, or the universe to bring more to you. And this is the basis of what we are going to use for our full meditation next Sunday. Is from that point of view of being grateful for those things and asking for more of this. Do you want more love? Do you want more harmony? Do you want more understanding? Do you want more clean air, clean water? Do you want free energy? There's so many beautiful things, and we'll really go into that next Sunday. I can't wait. So please stay with this meditation if you want, and keep doing this heart breathing with your gratitude. And so I'm going to leave you here today. Thank you for joining me today, and Please share your vision in the comments. As I said, private messages if you prefer, but it would be nice in the comments so others can see. And so we will include them next week, and we would join forces, and all together we will meditate and send a new wave of hope to this human energetic morphic field. So please think, feel, what kind of world do you want to experience next on this planet. And when you do this, think of the next generation. If you have kids, if you know kids, if you love kids, really think of them too. It's not just your world you're building, it's you're building a world for the next generation, for the whole humanity. So thank you, take care, and I'll see you next Sunday. Namaste.